Mack for SF Media TV. I am here with the guys from the legendary band Living Colour. How's it going, boys?
Okay, second show today.
Show number 2, and you guys are on quite late. What have you been doing to fill in time?
Sleep.
Actually,
Sleep.
Actually,
and eating Vegemite.
Rice crackers.
sleeping at really odd times. You know, like after the show, I'm wide awake, and then suddenly I pass out, and
Have some Vegemite.
oh no.
You like Vegemite, Vernon, don't you? Of course, you like Vegemite.
Vegemite. This is like kind of almost like spam, but not spam.
So you're a little bit divided on the Vegemite issue at the moment.
I like Vegemite. I have no problems with it. Late night studio, Vegemite, Earl Grey tea. It's good to go. It beats chewing gum.
That is true, and it's full of protein, which is,
It is.
important.
But your eyelids might be a little bit closed the next day when you try to wake up. But you know what? Life is beautiful with Vegemite.
Cool. And have you had much of an opportunity to do any sightseeing or all of the touristy things that you're supposed to do when you're, come to a new place?
I lived in Redfern for a little while.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, so it was nice.
Wow, Redfern can be a bit of a rough place. What's
It was
that
quite
like?
nice.
Look at this guy. Does he look like he can handle it? Does he look rough?
Of course.
Yeah, a lot of Vegemite. Look at that smile. Don't you like him?
Thank you. It was my introduction to this country was Living Colour. It was great. I came down here on a staying tour and fell in love with the place and the culture and the Aboriginal art and met some great people. And I wanted to just come back, and I stayed a few months. It was nice. So I had a chance to check out the Gold Coast, Perth, most of the major cities, and hang out. So it was great. Nice to be back. Seeing some old friends actually on this trip too. So it was cool.
So, gearing up for your show tonight, what can we expect from the Living Colour set list? Because you guys have a lot of material. What can fans expect?
Well, in 40 minutes that we have to do it, hopefully they can expect a better show than we did yesterday. No, I'm only kidding. We have a good, we're playing a lot of the hits, what we call hits, and we're just trying to front load the joint a little bit to make sure that everybody can get a good taste of what's going on in Living Colour world right now. It's stuff for the young folks and folks that are kind of familiar with our music. We want to, kind of like blast it at them.
So I heard a rumor you guys have a new album out this year. Is that right?
Definitely a rumor that we have a new album
on the way.
There you go, right there.
Yes, we're working on a new record right now. We've been in the studio for the last several months. Once we're done with this tour, we go back in and do some more work, and then do some more work, and hopefully get the record out by this fall. Oh, our fall, which is your spring.
Spring, so September-ish.
Yeah, September-ish.
And I read a story that Cult of Personality, your biggest hit, was written just as a fluke during a jam session.
It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't a fluke. It was actually written in one rehearsal.
Okay.
Yeah, it was actually part of a whole bunch of writing we were doing, and Corey was singing something, and I played the riff
As he heard it, which is not the way I sang it.
It's not the way he sang it, but I think, and I said, Will play a beat, and then it was basically the song essentially wrote itself in one rehearsal. We started out without Cult of Personality, and we wound up with Cult of Personality. And we played at the very next gig at CBGB's.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So what does a general jam session with Living Colour? What is that like? Do you guys still jam often?
It starts with lunch usually.
Vegemite?
It starts with a menu and a whole bunch of chatter.
We start every jam with Vegemite.
You need to come and
We
check
want a
this shit out.
sponsorship is what we're trying to tell you. Give us some money.
What does it do? I'm still
We
trying
don't-
to figure that out.
We don't need alcohol. It's all right here.
That's a fantastic question.
Vegemite with alcohol. You might have something there.
We it's yeasty, so you'd think it'd go well with it.
Kind of.
It starts with menus and chatter usually.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of political chatter.
A little
You get a couple notes.
Vegemite, some bourbon.
Perfect
Salted
night.
rim. You're good.
And one thing I wanted to know, because a lot of your music is, very infused by this sense of there's a bluesiness. Do you guys feel like when you listen to music today, do you still hear much of the influence of the blues, or has it kind of, I don't know, dried up?
Well, it's actually interesting when you mention that, because that's something that we've been talking about a bit. Is that certainly with like heavy music, that the blues was a primary influence, and then it kind of veered away from it, and we started to think about like reverse engineering the blues the way Led Zeppelin did it. Let's kind of look at the music that started us off, the music that's at the center, and then go wherever it's going to go.
Do you guys feel like the blues is something that you can learn, or is it something that
you have to live it?
Yeah.
You have to live it. I think you can learn it, but
And everyone's lived it. How many times have you had your heart broken?
how many times have you had your hearts broken?
too many times?
You know the blues.
No, what's the exact? No, we need the exact number. What
Write the
is
song.
it? What is it? I don't know. 5.
How many hearts have you broken?
Oh, I don't like your tone, mister.
I'm hitting a little too close to home.
Again with the tone.
This is just getting way too real, you
This
guys.
is
Way too weird, isn't it?
Learning it is, Vernon's point is real. Yeah, if you're feeling it is the reality, but you can learn it. And I think it's in all music. It really is sort of wrapped up in all music. So eventually you will get to where your emotional heartbreak or heart you've broken, it comes out in that music. But it's not something like, it's not the same as learning a classical piece of music or style or funk or jazz or rock. It is 98% lived and 2% interpreted. And I think that's the interpretation part is where you have to decide on how you want to react to what it is you're feeling, and honestly react to what you're feeling. That's basically what the blues brings out. I think more honesty and more reality in life than in other art forms, than other styles of music.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I think that's a great way to end it, guys. Is there
All right.
anything else you want to add?
Thanks for having us here. It's a pleasure.
More Vegemite. You did an excellent job.
Oh, no.
Excellent job. Gold star on
You
the forehead
you
with a
guys
burn
went
sign.
up. You guys went easy on me, so thank you.
Coming to the show? You're gonna be doing the
I will try my very, very best. If I'm not
I
wrapped
take
up
that
here,
as
I'll
a
be
no.
there. If I'm not wrapped up here, I'll be there for sure.
Let it go.
Thank you. It was lovely to meet you guys. And,
Cheers, my dears.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Aww.
Life is beautiful. All right.
I still want an answer.